Hey everybody, this is Erica, and I will be presenting to you guys my week 6 discussion post about the PARS model. While I was reading the PARS model, I really was, well, first off, I was like, oh yeah, Dr. Glass wrote this, represent. And I was also really, I guess, as I was reading it, the way the authors wrote the steps really made sense. They kind of explained what the steps were, and then they walked through each individual steps, provided examples, and I don't know, I think the article was really well written. I don't know, I might just be biased because Dr. Glass wrote it, but it's whatever. I really liked the article and I enjoyed it. And I have to admit, for some reason, I've been having issues opening the video. I don't know if it's because I have a Mac or what it is, but still work in process. Talking about what I found most interesting about the PARS model, I really enjoyed how in the introduction they kind of explained how it's a really good tool for beginning counselors, especially because we're all beginning counselors for the most part. A lot of us don't have experience with groups, some more than others. Me, for example, I don't have much experience. And I know as a beginning counselor, a lot of us really want to get in there and show our techniques and all these skills we've learned, and I guess kind of complicating in-depth activities right off the bat. But in reality, especially kind of an emphasis I picked up from the PARS model, you should kind of start with the basics. You don't have to be fancy and use all these different theories and all these different complicating techniques to really get people to connect with one another. Especially how, number 2 question discussion post, how would you plan on using the model in your own work? For example, I work with a lot of people in an agency. A lot of them are older, a lot of them experience dementia, serious mental illnesses, some of them have hallucinations. For example, I have a group now of women that are on a floor. They live together 24 hours, they're all in the same unit, living closely together. And one lady has this hallucination that the lady across the hall from her has stolen her imaginary boyfriend. Now, this is interesting because out of nowhere this assumption came up. She has no reason to think this other lady would do something like that, and the boyfriend's totally imaginary. But as a counselor, you just kind of have to, oh no, I don't think that, maybe you're misinterpreting the situation. Try to pull away from the negativity, and even though in the back of your mind you know that the imaginary boyfriend isn't real, you can't just kind of say that and upset a person who genuinely believes that. But that's another story. But where I'm going with this is this model kind of emphasizes that start where you are with your clients in a group, and I think that's really beneficial to my individuals that I work with, because you have to be patient with them. It's going to be very hard for them to show progress, if any. The number one, I guess, reason to have a group with these people is to understand that you may not have huge progresses, but there may be little progresses that you can make along the way. They may not remember what happened from the previous session, or they may comprehend an activity a different way, but that's okay. The PARS model kind of lets you know that start where you are with the clients. Some of them may not start out at the same spot, but that's okay. Be patient and work with them. There's also an emphasis on letting the clients know why they did this particular exercise and what they can do to kind of build upon it. And in a way, I kind of think of, with my unique population, an activity that I would probably do is, instead of focusing on the negative things they're doing and what they can do to change that, focusing on the positive aspects of each other. So in the group of women, for example, I would have them, I guess, go around the room and say, what do you like about this person? And it kind of make each other feel good and kind of facilitate a more comfortable environment. Okay, these people like something about me. It makes me more comfortable to talk about myself, and it kind of makes me feel connected to that person, that they would say something positive about me. And I think that's really something that you would want to do when you're working with people who live on a 24-hour unit together, because there's going to be a lot of complaints, but you don't want to focus on those complaints and embarrass people in front of each other and other people who may not even know the situation. So that's kind of where I'm going at. I hope it all makes sense. I look forward to tomorrow and hanging out with you guys and doing some courses at the intramural field. So thanks, y'all. Bye.